Donnie and Teresa, the Beattyville Hillbillies, are everyone's favorite. Moonshiners, Do Discovery's Moonshiners, is a huge hit for the network. And I don't think it just has to do with the fact that people love themselves a good old-fashioned backyard boozy brew. The producers of the show managed to get themselves a bunch of folks who are genuinely in love with creating their own moonshine. That enthusiasm is pretty infectious, and one of the best examples of that is Donnie and Teresa. The boyfriend-girlfriend couple, also known as the Beattyville Hillbillies, are a hit with fans, not just because they're good at making moonshine, they are, but because they have such a great time doing it. While moonshining wasn't always Teresa's passion, it's been a practice in Donnie's family that's been passed down for generations, and he's more than happy to share and refine the secret of his family's moonshine success with his better half. Donnie Benton came up in Old Landing, Kentucky, and it didn't take him long to learn the ways of crafting home-style booze from his grandfather. But that didn't mean he wanted his kids to follow in his footsteps, however, and Donnie recalled his grandpops always saying that there was no good in making moonshine. Instead of taking this as a sign that he should avoid making moonshine altogether, Donnie saw it as a way of his elder spurring him on in a roundabout way. VONTV reports Donnie as saying, "What better way to get someone to do something than to tell them they can't? And I think my grandpa knew that." While Teresa is honing her moonshine-making skills with Donnie, it turns out that she's got some bootlegging blood in her family as well. She recalls that her grandpa and granduncle also made moonshine as well. Like many reality TV programs, it's not outside the realm of possibility for certain situations to be played up or revisited on camera for better audience clarity. In the case of the Discovery Channel show about home-making booze, however, some fans and moonshine dilettantes and dabblers themselves were a bit gobsmacked about the intricacies of the rigs featured on the show. In a Reddit post regarding the show and the use of troughs, some couldn't get around the fact that a lot of the setups seemed to be overly complex for no reason. Don't get me wrong, I understand and possess a fair whack of the redneck engineering mentality. However, it seems like a lot of unnecessary work to build troughs of wood, or carving out a tree like Mark did, and setting up the sections so that they flow one into another instead of purchasing and using readily available pipe or hose. Reddit user Ricky LaFleur continued, "A trough has the advantage of being able to quickly find and remedy any blockages, but that wouldn't be an issue with a pipe or hose that has a good filter on the inlet. If you need to camouflage your water conduit, like Mark did, then a hose is much easier to hide than any trough." I do like Donnie and Teresa's setup with free and plentiful bamboo. Some commenters gave love to Donnie and Teresa's realer moonshine setup too. Others think the wackiness of some systems have more to do with the show's producers trying to drive home the backwoods nature of the cast's operations. I was complaining about the trough system the whole show. First off, if you're really trying to be inconspicuous, why would you rig up a huge pulley system in the middle of the woods? That was a dumb idea as well. That sticks out like a sore thumb. So it could be that the Beattyville Hillbillies appeal to a wider demographic of viewers. They've got a great natural charm and chemistry, and have some really efficient means of moonshining that are more true to life, something serious moonshine fans can appreciate. You can catch new episodes of Moonshiner shares exactly how the Moonshiners avoid getting arrested. Jeff and Lance are missing from Moonshiners, and fans are upset. Fans are missing the legendary Jim Tom on Moonshiners. Donnie and Teresa, the Beattyville Hillbillies, are everyone's favorite Moonshiners doing the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, a place known for its lush green valleys, misty mornings, and tight-knit communities. There exists a duo that has captured the hearts of many across the nation. Donnie and Teresa, the Beattyville Hillbillies, have become the quintessential moonshiners that people can't help but fall in love with. The story of these two, with their wit, grit, and charm, is as sweet as the shine they craft in their makeshift still in the rolling hills of Beattyville, Kentucky. The rise of Donnie and Teresa as America's favorite moonshiner duo isn't just about their family's legacy of liquor making. It's about the personalities that made them impossible to ignore, even for those who have no clue what moonshine really tastes like. Roots in Beattyville, a small town with a population of just under 1,300, isn't the couple who would go on to gain national fame. Located in Lee County, Kentucky, the town is nestled in the heart of the Appalachian region, an area historically known for its secluded communities and agricultural-based economy. This is where Donnie and Teresa were born and raised, and where their roots in moonshining run deep. Historically, moonshining in the Appalachian Mountains was a necessity. The government's taxation of alcohol in the early 20th century drove many rural families to distill their own liquor to make ends meet. For Donnie and Teresa, it's not just about the financial rewards. For them, moonshining is a way of life, a tradition passed down through the generations. Their families have been making moonshine for decades, some say even longer, and it's an art that they have mastered over time. But Donnie and Teresa didn't always plan on becoming the faces of modern moonshine. They grew up on the same dusty roads, helped their families work the land, and learned the secrets of the still from their grandparents. But unlike many other kids, they didn't stray from the lifestyle. They embraced it, modernizing their family's operation while still maintaining that rugged, authentic Appalachian flavor. The start of the duo hut makes Donnie and Teresa stand out from the other moonshine operations in the region is not just their knowledge of the craft or their quirky personalities, but their dynamic as a duo. While moonshining often conjures images of lone men in the woods with their stills and illicit activities, Donnie and Teresa have turned it into something that feels more like a partnership, a collaboration between equals. Donnie is the embodiment of mountain man grit. With a thick beard, a love for the land, and an ever-present smile that shows he's seen more than his fair share of ups and downs, Donnie brings a certain rawness to the operation. He's a tinkerer, always figuring out ways to improve the distillation process, and a visionary, always thinking of how to make their product stand out. But it's Teresa, his partner in both business and life, who brings the charm and the savvy that balances their dynamic. Teresa, on the other hand, is quick-witted and sharp, a master at negotiating with suppliers, customers, and even the law. She's got the business sense and the people skills that many entrepreneurs only dream of. With her down-to-earth style and a knack for knowing how to sweet-talk a customer or make them laugh, she makes every conversation feel like a warm welcome into her world. Together, they're a force to be reckoned with. They complement each other perfectly, and their chemistry is palpable. Whether they're arguing over the best way to infuse their moonshine with flavors or laughing at the sheer ridiculousness of their latest business endeavor, their energy is contagious. The moonshine and the legacy Donnie and Teresa's moonshine isn't just any liquor. It's a product of years of hard work, passion, and the sweat of their ancestors. The couple still may not be the biggest or most high-tech operation, but it's their attention to detail and the love they put into every batch that sets them apart from the competition. It's clear that every drop of their moonshine carries a piece of their heart and the history of the land they grew up on. Their moonshine isn't just popular because of its quality, though. It's also the stories behind the product that make it a hit. Every bottle is an invitation into the world of Donnie and Teresa, and it's the tales of their wild adventures, the challenges they faced, and the people they've met along the way that make the brand irresistible. Their customers don't just buy moonshine. They buy into a piece of Appalachian history, culture, and authenticity. The duo has put their own unique spin on their product line, offering everything from traditional corn liquor to creative flavors like apple pie and blackberry. They've even ventured into barrel-aged moonshine, taking a nod from whiskey distillers and adding their own signature flavor profile. The couple's innovation doesn't stop at the still. They've managed to take an age-old practice and make it relevant for today's market, with slick labels, fun branding, and a social media presence that showcases their personalities. And it's not just the alcohol that people are interested in, it's the lifestyle they represent. Donnie and Teresa are the ultimate example of Appalachian pride. They live in a part of the country where family means everything, where hard work is a way of life, and where the beauty of nature is a constant companion. And even though their moonshine business has reached beyond the confines of Beattyville, they're not interested in losing touch with their roots. Becoming moonshine celebrities, the moonshine industry grew in the 21st century. Donnie and Teresa gained attention from media outlets, local news stations, and eventually national television. Their story of a couple living out